Wednesday. Hey y'all, what's up? It's me, Paris. I apologize for coming on a little late. Let me tell y'all something. I'm here though. That's all that matters, right? I'm here. And I am glad that you guys are here with me. So if you're on, come on and say hi. Let me know that you're here. Today is Thursday. I feel like, we had Monday as a holiday because the 4th was on a Sunday, right? So that's why this week feels like it went by fast. I'm not complaining. I won't complain at all. I'm just saying it feels like, I don't know why it's Thursday already. Hey, Auntie Cynthia, love you. So I'm telling you, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, today is the day. Today we're doing my live. I knew today was Thursday. I just think sometimes it sneaks up on you. So a little bit, sometime. How y'all doing today? Come on, talk to me. Let me know how you doing if you're here. Hey, Kelly girl, how are you? So I hope you guys had a good day. I had a very busy day, but let me say something. I had a very productive last couple of days. And so I'm happy about that because when I'm productive, I feel like, the world is in front of me. It's for the taking. It's busy, but if I get something done, the worst thing you can do is when you have a busy day and you feel like you still weren't productive. Like that's the worst. That's like a waste of time. It feels like, oh my God, I was busy all day and I still don't feel like I checked anything off my list. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes those days happen. So, I'm just glad I got some stuff off my list. So I'm grateful. And I said that I'm always happy to be on here talking with y'all. And we're going to get in finishing this self-care. We're going to finish up this week for our definitions of what the self-care looks like. On Tuesday, if you were here, we went over self-care for your spiritual self. And I thought that was important to lay the basis of what we talked about. Because to me, if you don't get centered with your inner person, who you are, stripped away from all titles, stripped away from all responsibilities, you don't really know who you are. And therefore you can't rightfully care for yourself if you don't know who you are, right? So that's why it was super important for me to talk about the spiritual part of it, right? And so that was like the basis that had to be laid. We talked about prayer. We talked about organized religion. We even talked about, if you're not into organized religion, we talked about meditation, how much I love meditation. I think everybody should practice it, and how it was not a spooky word. It's not anything. It just means to quiet your inner mind down, quiet your inner voice down. Hey, Alicia girl, how are you? So y'all come on in here. Please share, share, comment. And if you don't know when my live goes on, I also suggest that you click the buttons in the upper left, in the upper right corner. It says, to let you know when notifications, that's when you turn on your notifications for when I go live, so you'll know. But share this, guys, so you just don't know who could use this conversation. This self-care series, I think, will really shift the way we look at it. And I'm excited about it because I believe that we do not really believe in it. Because if we believed it, we would do it and nobody would have to tell us to do it. So I feel like we're going to get some really good stuff from here. So like I said, on Tuesday, we talked about self-care for your spiritual self and how to get yourself, your spiritual self in alignment. So because when you do that, you'll be able to understand better what it looks like what it looks like for you to do it on not just a transactional thing, but what it looks like for you to do it regularly and not as a luxury, but something that's built into your regimen. And you only can do that if you really believe it. And you can only believe it if you're really in touch with that inner person. So yeah, I absolutely was excited about that. I feel like it really laid the foundation. If you were not here on Tuesday, please go back and watch that one. I think it was really good to start with, right? And so today, I almost didn't have today's topic on here because I thought it was just kind of, what do I want to use the word? I thought it was common. I thought it was something everybody should already know, but I thought about it. Everybody doesn't know, so I will not assume. So today we're talking about self-care for your physical self. And this is what you hear most people talk about regularly. But I think that I would be remiss if I did not talk about it. And I know you're saying, well, Paris, didn't you say that self-care is more than a spa day? Didn't you say self-care is more than nails? And I did, absolutely. And I stick by that because it is so much more than that. But I did want to explain why it's still necessary, right? Because you still, I don't want anybody to feel like doing that is not self-care. It is also self-care. I just wanted you to know self-care was more than just that. Does that make sense? It's not mutually exclusive. It's not only the physical things, but it also does include the physical things. And you don't neglect those just because you think that they are materialistic or whatever. So let's talk about it. Like we talked about the other day, self-care comes from a desire, not even a desire. Let me change the word desire. Self-care, the way I'm talking about it is understanding that your whole self needs to be cared for, and to understand you're worthy and worth that care, and that you actually have to make that self-investment. We talked about that last year. Self-care is an investment in yourself. You're good stock, so you have to put the investment in it. You, just like I said, I think I made another metaphor about if when you buy a house, you always doing some type of improvements to the house. There's maintenance that comes along with it, or a car, something that has value to it. You have to maintain it. You have to invest in it. And if you don't invest in it, it won't be nice. It won't have longevity. It won't last. Same thing with you as a whole person. Well, when we talk about your physical self, your body is your temple. I know you've heard that over and over again. And we talk about it and we say it, blah, 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 blah. But again, let's talk about what it is inside of us that's not necessarily connecting, why we need to take care of this temple and how to do so. And I know, again, this is something that's talked about so much that people probably think, oh, well, I don't need to talk about the physical part of the body. And I do not agree. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of give you some ideas on how to operate in that level without being too obvious, but give you some stuff that's, also other parts of it. Okay. So one of the things that you probably don't think for self-care that is physical is getting enough rest. Okay. We talk about this stuff. We think it's just whatever, but let me tell you something, y'all. If you don't get enough rest, your temple, your physical, your skin that you have, you see, I'm touching my skin, right? This is the physical manifestation of my body. Of course, we're all spirit here, right? That's inside of us. This is real. I scratch myself, I pinch myself, it's real. Whether or not you want to sit here and say we live in this, I've heard people say we're spirits, that we're not really in this world. We just are. These are just our, houses. And all that stuff is true, and it sounds wonderful. But baby, let me tell you something. You don't keep messing around and not taking care of this house. It's gonna crumble in front of you, and you won't be here to house the spirit. I hate when people say that, because guess what? Your spirit can't live here if you don't have a house. Sorry, I'm not trying to debunk the spiritual part of it. And I know some people say, well, if I'm not here, my spirit will be here. I understand. But if you want to be here, anybody want to be here, you got to take care of this. Okay? You got to take care of it. And we do it all different ways. And nobody's perfect at it. It's a delicate balance. I told you no two extremes, right? You don't want to overwork your body so much where it's trying to be a machine. But you also don't want to not tend to it and make sure that it's good and you're keeping the maintenance up on it, and so it could deteriorate at a faster rate than it should. So one of the things is rest. Rest is so necessary. I don't think y'all even get how much rest replenishes you. Did you know when you rest, there's a such thing called a fasted period, because you're not eating, right? And if you guys know anything about fasting, I don't want to go into that today, but when you talk about fasting is actually the time when your body is at the highest capacity for healing. Did you know that? Because when you're eating and when you're woke throughout the day, your brain is doing all type of things. You're moving your body. Your brain is like a computer. So it's trying to move everything around. It's moving all these things around and trying to figure out how to do it all at the same time. And when it's doing that, it takes a lot of energy. So the only time you really can heal is at night when you have stopped your digestive system from working, when your brain has not slowed down. Of course, your brain never goes to sleep, but it's slowed down. When you have stopped moving your body so it doesn't have to exert any energy, and you can direct all. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. So just time out real quick. Okay. I told y'all never know what's happening on the show. This week is the eviction notice. Yesterday, the kittens turned 8 weeks old. And so they are being evicted right now. And so my cats are all acting a whole mess. So I apologize for that. Yes, you did just see a cat jump across the screen. I told y'all it's live TV. You can never predict it. Anyway, time back out. We're gonna go back. So when you're in that fasted period, you literally are able to your cells are able to regenerate. I'm not sure if y'all knew that really happens. Your cells do regenerate, and the healthier you are, the more that your cells are in the best condition so they can. The more I'm gonna talk about the rest of that in a minute, but literally, rest is a huge part of that. So that's why they say that you should get the 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, because that gives your body enough time where you literally can rejuvenate, and it really can. Your cells can actually heal. Our bodies are meant to heal. Did you know the reason that your hands, have y'all ever heard the thing about the tattoo? If you get a tattoo in your hands, it doesn't last long. Do you know that your skin sheds all day long? And so on your hands and your feet, they do it the most. But your body, your skin sheds. We're like big old snakes. And I hate snakes, but the idea is that we shed all day long. So the point of saying that is to say that you're always growing and your cells are always regenerating. Yes, dead things fall away and new cells come in and they replenish. And so if you don't get those sleep, you will not be able to be the best version of you. Have you ever seen somebody that's sickly that you can see it on their skin? Because that something's wrong with their internal systems, and it's not able to regenerate the cells as fast as it used to be. So that's some science for y'all to put into this. But yes, rest is the number one ingredient to giving self-care to your physical self. Okay. It is very important. The second thing, I kind of said it, water. Let me tell you something. I thought that was just something we talk about, but I did not even realize until I had to realize it a few years ago that water, your body's like it was 70 or 80% water, I think. One of those, 70 or 80% water. Because of that, it's so much that's necessary for you to actually function correctly. Hey, Tracy girl. Hey, JC. Yes, girl, these cats are a hot mess. It's so much water that's necessary to keep your body at a level that is functioning regularly. It's almost like if you don't have oil for your car won't be able to run. It's the same thing. You need a certain amount of water minimally for your body to work. And then you need another certain amount over and beyond for your body to work efficiently. And most of us do not get as much water as we need. So therefore, and I've had to find out the hard way, and I'm sure some of you guys have had to as well. Don't get dehydrated, because baby, your body will shut down for real. I thought dehydration just whatever until it happened to me. Baby, you will literally pass out if you don't get enough water. And that happened to me before. And so I had to be very careful, really thoughtful about the idea of making sure I'm hydrated. So you guys have to stay hydrated. That's like someone told me that's like the most basic thing you can do as a love letter to yourself. Someone said that. They said drinking enough water, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep. 2 easiest things you can do to write a love letter to yourself. I thought that was such a great thing that they said. I was like, that is so dope. So I don't have to spend a lot of money. Just get enough sleep and drink enough water. And honestly, I am writing a love letter to myself. I am taking care of myself in a way. I'm saying I love you to myself. So those are the top things in self-care that I had to think about. Tracy, you said the body restores itself naturally. The healthier you are, the better the restoration. Yes, sis, I'm telling you, I figured this out. And I'm like, okay, so it is your job to manage this. Listen, I'm all about self-love, but again, we have to be so honest to understand that this body that we have, it won't be any good if we're not taking care of it in the best way possible, right? So I'm all about body confidence. I'm all about loving the skin you're in, but I'm also about saying I want us to be around for a long time. And the science, the realistic part of life is that if I don't take care of this body I'm in, I'm not going to be here for a long period of time. It's not, and the body won't take care of me. So I just want us to get to a point where we're really honest and doing everything we can. It's a daily thing. It's not easy. It's so many moving pieces to this, but I think if you do one thing a day, minimally, to love on yourself, I promise you, it's going to become something that's just a habit. And you'll realize, wow, I can't. And when you get in the habit of it, you'll be like, why didn't I do this before? Every time you haven't done something for a while, isn't that true? Like, you're like, why didn't I just do this before? Like, why did I take so long to have to do this? So instead of doing that, you just have to realize that these are the basic things you need to do. Oh, Tracy, you confirmed that we are at least 80% water. Yes, must replenish. Hydrate your cells. Yes, those are just some things that those are nuggets that I really wish I thought about when I was in my 20s. When I be honest with you, I wasn't drinking much water at all. And now I realize that it's so necessary. Okay, so the next part about the physical thing, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Moving your body. I know that sounds like we talk about this stuff all the time, but let me just tell y'all why it's not just a cliche thing to say. Forget about trying to lose weight or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about if you talk to a doctor or anybody in a physical therapy office, the first thing they will tell you is that if you don't move it, you will lose it. When I broke my ankle in 2016, I remember I had a trip to Jamaica. Was it Jamaica? Yeah, I had a trip to Jamaica that I had booked. And y'all know me. I love me some Jamaica. So I legitimately was upset that I broke my leg and that they thought I wasn't going to be able to go to my trip without like having some type of crutches. And I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. I was not for it. Right. So what I did is I made sure that I was working. Every time I was in physical therapy, I was working and I pushed them. And I think they actually said to me, Paris, you're our only person that told us to work as hard, do more. I said, because I have something to do. And this is extremely inconvenient for me. Like I was on one of those scooters. Anybody who remember at the time I was on the scooter and I had to get on the train to go to work on the scooter. It was just the worst thing ever. And so, yeah, I had something to do, you know what I'm saying? And so I didn't have time to play with it. So I was like, let's work me so I can get where I need to go. And I remember they told me that's why I healed so well. Because I when I got home, I did extra exercises on my ankle and was twirling it around and stretching it. And I just was extra diligent about it. And I think that's why I healed so well. And I didn't really have any lasting effects from it. Why am I telling you that? I'm telling you this because this body we have, if you don't move it regularly, honestly, our body, our ancestors, they used to walk way more than we do, right? We have these cars, we live in these suburbs, we don't move as much as we used to do. A lot of times, if you're anything like me, you got this sedentary job where you're sitting behind a computer for hours a day. And then when COVID happened, forget about it. Most people end up just being in the house and not moving as much as they should. So this is my reminder. We all know it, but let's talk about it. We got to move regularly. Forget about losing the weight. That's not the reason I'm saying it. You don't use it, you will lose it. And when I say lose it, you might not lose it like it's going to fall off, but you're going to lose mobility in it. And that's something that I've learned is that when I started staying at home and sitting down more and being behind the computer for 16, 18 hours a day, let me tell you the first thing I started noticing, I started getting sore. I started noticing my hips was hurting. And I'm like, what the devil? What is that about? I could not believe that was happening. My knees were starting to ache up a little bit. I even started noticing my ankles were swelling a little bit. I said, wait a minute, I've never had that happen. And then I had to realize that at least when I was working in the office, I would get up and go to work, you know what I'm saying, and then come back. Before COVID, even when I worked from home before, I was still leaving the house and doing things. But then at one point I was just in the house all week, not leaving the house, literally sitting by my computer for hours and hours of the day. my body was starting to, what's that word? I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to say. Will your muscles stiffen up? I can't even think of the word. Somebody help me. Tracy, help me. But whatever it was, it really I just started having pain. And the easiest thing I had to do was get up and start moving. Honestly, that was all I had to do. I realized it was happening. I got up and started stretching more. I started to walk. And I said, even if I can't get out, I'm going to walk around this house. I'm going to start doing things to move. Yes, atrophy. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, atrophy. And you have to be careful. Sometimes people say, oh, the older you get, these things are supposed to break down. Let me tell you something. I've learned from observation that yes, certain things do break down as they get a little bit older, but the healthier you keep it, the better you keep it in shape, your body will treat you well. Y'all know I skate sometimes. And so I used to see people at the skating rink that are 75, that's skating, that moving around better than the 20-year-olds I know. Okay. What does that mean? They have been keeping themselves, and you ask them what their secrets are. They stay active. They usually do one or more things that's active regularly. It is something, a regular part of their life. If they're not skating, they're bike riding. If they're not bike riding, they're running or walking. They have committed to a healthy life. Why? Because they know that creates longevity. Period. I'm not preaching this thing because I'm trying to make it sound like I know something more than anybody else, but sometimes people associate that thing with trying to say, oh, you're trying to work out so you can be smaller or whatever. It's not about that. It's literally about you taking care of this temple that you're in. That's all it is. That's how you love yourself more. Get out and move. Your body will love you for it. It's going to hurt at first. I'm not going to lie to you, especially if you do something that's pretty extreme, but it is going to love you. So give yourself some love. This is what we're talking about. Self-care. You have to. And I'm telling you, once you start doing it, you're going to start realizing your body tightens in different ways. You will just realize all the benefits of it. The more you move, your body is going to, and let's go different. I think people don't even realize moving is so good for your mental health. It's so good for your emotional health. That's why I tell you all this stuff is interconnected. When you walk, when you run, when you swim, when you do any physical activity, when you engage your body, there's something that happens. There are certain chemicals that move, that feed you. Those endorphins come out, and honestly, you are happier. You feel better. You feel more energized. You're more motivated, which is why a lot of people tell you to work out at first thing in the morning. And it is true. You start your day off working out. It's something about that extra energy that gives you that push to get anything that you need done. It's that motivation you need. So that is a big part of caring for your physical self. And you got the bonus of it's not just your physical self. You care for your mental self doing that, and you care for your emotional self. Win, 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 right? Okay. Super important. So I talked about rest. I talked about water. I talked about moving. And then I'm going to talk about eating. Now, y'all know I was going to go there, right? Now, I know somebody might say, and I'm going to hit y'all off at the pass. Paris, I mean, no offense. You're not the smallest person to be talking about us eating right. And I would like to tell you, you are right. You're right. I am not the smallest person, and I have not mastered it. However, nobody has to fully master something in order to be able to say if it's true or not. That's just real talk, okay? I know I want to be married, and I have never been married, and I can tell you some things I think about it, but it doesn't mean I can't say anything about it. Now, that's whether you believe it's true or not, whatever. But I know I've learned from some people, and I've seen some things, and I don't have to be it. I don't have to be a fish to study and learn about animals that live in the water, period. So my point is that whether you think you want to take this advice from me because I might not look like you think I should to be able to give this advice, not my concern. I'm just going to tell you about what I know about self-care for the body. I have been on this journey, my personal self, for a very long period of time. And it's some ups and downs, and there's things that you have to go through. But one thing I do know that I've gathered in this almost 40 years of my life is that in order to take care of this body, what you put into it matters. You know how you go to the gas, so you have a nice car and they tell you, oh, put the more expensive gas in, same difference. You can't go and get a Maserati and try to put regular gas in it and think it's going to be running well. It's just not. So we have to do ourselves a favor and be conscious of what we put into our body. This is our temple. We have to not put so much processed junk in our body. We have to, be careful with certain things that's just horrible, like the sugar. I'm not going to really go to the full gamut because this is not a nutrition show. But if y'all really know me, y'all know I don't care for dairy. I don't care for sugar. And I try to minimize some of the meats I eat, and just try to minimize the processed food. Now, do I have certain things sometimes? Of course I do. We all do. But I get to a point where I understand the optimal thing for my body is to eat lots of green veggies, to eat fruits, and for me, particularly low in sugar fruits. So I like berries and different things, and to eat, and to make sure that I'm eating protein that, especially for me, if I'm busy, I just need the protein to sustain me, right? These are the type of things that we need to make sure is in our body regularly. We are going to have some treats from time to time, but the difference is not to have the bad things more than the good things, and just try to transition to it. And I'm not even talking about for the purpose of losing weight. I'm talking about literally for the purpose of being your best version of you. Your car is not going to run the best way if you don't put the right things in it. I don't care how many surgeries you get, and I'm not shading surgeries because if I could get one, but I mean, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go there right now with y'all. Okay, I ain't shading no type of surgery, but I'm saying that even with that, there has to be a lifestyle change. You have to get to a point where you understand that what you put in this body, it physically affects every part of you. And again, this is where you get the bonus. It doesn't just affect your physical, it affects your emotion, your mind. Literally, what you eat affects how you feel, your mood. Y'all ever feel like y'all have mood swings? Did you not know some of that's because what you eat? You didn't know that? There's a whole group of people that talk about gluten and how gluten is, it triggers their mood swings. That's why they went gluten free. There's a whole movement about certain carbs, like good carbs and bad carbs, and what it does to them when they eat it. Like I'm telling y'all, sugar is like, I know that it's literally more addictive than they said crack or heroin. It's more addictive than heroin. So when you eat it, then it literally keeps you fiending for it. And it's like you need more and more and more, and you don't realize that you're literally breaking down all the things in your body because you're addicted to it now. At least you say, yeah, it does affect your whole mood. I'm trying to tell y'all. And then, what we don't get is this vicious cycle, because a lot of us do what we do emotional eating. It's horrible because then it's this cycle that you continue to do because you have these bad mood swings because of the bad foods you're eating. And then when you eat it, you feel horrible. So then you do more emotional eating. And then now it's just a cycle of just the horrible things, right? So it's time to break the cycle, right? So that's just something that I like to, and it's not something when you have to wake up one day and say, I give up all the things I like in the world. It's just saying that I'm going to be more conscious about what I feed into this machine so it can take care of me all the time I need to be here. That's it. That's all. It is loving on yourself. I'm not preaching to you. I know I still have to do it every day. I do something nice for my body every single day. Physical, emotional, all that. And that's the goal here, to understand that this is not a transactional thing. It is a regimen. There should be things, how we have those boards and we talk about those goals boards, and we have, what's the thing everybody has nowadays? The boards, the vision boards. On your vision board, there should be something for your physical self. There should be something for your rest. There should be something for water. When I have one, at one point I used to have it in my, on my alarm to drink water this time of day. I have to remind myself to do it because when I'm out, I hate going to the bathroom so much, but it's better to have that part of it than have the part where I'm dehydrated and my body's acting all weird. I didn't realize all the scary things that can happen in your body when you are dehydrated. I didn't know. And again, I found out the hard way. So again, some of these might seem, most of these, let's be clear. You've heard about every single one of these things, right? Every single one of these things you've heard about. Nothing that I told you is really new. I just wanted to give it to you and kind of give you some background, because sometimes you know stuff, but if you don't know the background why you're doing it, it won't stick. And you'll just think that somebody's preaching to you, and you'll think somebody's just saying something, and then you're like, oh, whatever, here we go again. And you won't really embrace it the way that you need to. And I'm hoping to give you some background to it so that you do embrace it and understand why it's so necessary. And why it's not just a trending thing. It's not something that people make their New Year's resolution, but why it literally it cares for you in a deep way, a deep way. And I just want to make sure that we are understanding that. I forgot one other thing. I also like massages. Now, some people are iffy about going to a masseuse, but I think it's a life-changing experience once you've had it. I think they're amazing, and I think there are some that are really doing some really good work out here, even on a therapeutic level, and they have a whole practice around it that's holistic. I think it's super dope to even make that part of your regimen, not just because it's a spa thing, but literally because when you start moving and things like that, your muscles and stuff will be sore. It will start to, when your muscles are growing, the way the muscles grow is that they break the old muscle and they create a new one. And so you have pain, and massages, they really do take the tension out. They also it really allows you to kind of heal better, and it's a healing experience. If you've never had one, you should have one. I think it is one of the best things you can do for your physical body. And again, I love double things. So again, it helps your physical, it helps your emotional. I think literally it relieves all the stress. When I have a good massage, I literally feel like the world is melting away. I have not a care. And then definitely with your mental, you definitely get renewed. So I 100% suggest massages as well. And it's 100 things you can do for yourself. But those are the things I think at the basis are really good. Anything you get extra is extra. But I'm talking about these are the things that should be, again, not the transactional, but the things as part of your regimen, things that are really going to make you a better person. You're literally going to do this for like 21 days and you can journal and see how your life has improved. Like, I dare you, y'all. Look, I dare you to do any of these things for 21 days straight and see how your life has improved once you start taking these steps. What did I say? Getting the appropriate amount of rest. And if you have sleep apnea, or if you have any sleeping conditions, go see a doctor to figure that out. To understand what the problems are, and insomnia, any of those things, get a sleep study done, because sleep is so important. If you're not rejuvenating, that's why you're having the mental issues as well, because when your mind doesn't have time to rejuvenate, honestly, you just constantly going, it does make you like off. It throws everything off. So sleep is very important. Please don't minimize that. If you're having sleep issues, work on it. Get that worked on, because it's necessary. The water, the hydration. Stop. Don't listen to, we need eight cups a day and just say it and it's cute. No, I'm talking literally. Your body is not functioning at its best level without the water you need. It does everything. Like, people say, how's your skin so clear? Water. How does it seem like you have a lot of energy? Water. I don't drink coffee every day. I don't need coffee to get energy. This is just me. This is your body's supposed to do this stuff. But we don't put the right things in there, so we don't have it naturally. And a lot of times you'll realize when you start drinking the water, when you start getting the rest, when you start moving more, when you start, what did I talk about? I said moving more, eating the right things. When you eat regular vegetables and fruit, when you don't have a lot of fast food, when you don't have a lot of fried stuff, and you have a lot of more home cooked meals, you will see that your body will love on you back. You're going to start seeing that your skin is brighter. You're going to smell more. You're going to feel better. You literally feel like a whole new person. And you think that you have felt it already, but you don't know until you do. Man, let me tell you something. I said do one nice thing for yourself a day. What I'm talking about, do several. Do at least two of them. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be like, Paris, I thought she was crazy just talking. But honestly, just doing this and that have changed my whole life. And I'm be like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad, because these are the things that we don't talk about enough. We joke, and y'all know we real good about laughing about stuff that we don't want to do, right? When somebody says, "Oh, I'm working out," "Ooh, child, you go do that. I'm going to Popeyes." Or, "Oh, child, someone tell you they don't want to, do this, that. Whatever. I'm gonna do what I do. I don't do all that. I like my thickness." We talk about things because we try to normalize the fact that we don't want to do anything different. But I'm telling you, if you really embrace these things, it's only gonna help you. Listen, let me tell you something. Me telling you to drink water ain't gonna help me. It's not. I promise. You get more rest. Me telling you to get more rest not gonna help me. It really isn't. I need y'all to hear that, because sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves because somebody else told us, "Well, y'all just sheeple. Y'all follow everything people say. That's not real. That's not true." I don't benefit from you doing something good for you. Message of 2021. Sometimes people really legitimately want you to be better. Don't reject everything. Don't be the rebel all the time. Don't be the person that does the opposite of what everybody say because you just want to be the person to say, "I don't have to do that." No, you really ain't got to do that. This for you. This for you. Try it. If you don't think drinking more water is going to help you, then don't do it. If you don't think getting more rest is going to help you, I don't want you to do it. Don't hurt yourself, baby. However, I do want the best for you. So before you dismiss it, before you laugh at it, before you think it's oversimplified, try it. And you might get the side effects of it and say, "Whoa, this crazy girl to be on here talking to us every Tuesday and Thursday, actually, she's talking about something, and it helped me in some kind of way." It helped me in some kind of way. So I just really hope that y'all getting that. Yes, Alicia, water is so good. And honestly, do it how you can. If you can't drink 8 cups of water a day, if you hate the taste of water, listen, go get you some Crystal Light and start doing some of that. Putting some of that in your water. Listen, and I don't care what nobody said, "Well, you shouldn't do that." Something's better than nothing. Start how you can. If you can't give up at McDonald's every day, when just only eat McDonald's one meal a day instead of 3. Do it how you can. Do it how you can. For real. If you can't run or get in a class or get the gym membership, just start walking around your neighborhood. Walk your dog or something. Get up and just get out. If you don't really know how to do all the deep stretches, just raise your hands and stretch them out. I'm telling you, it's going to feel weird at first, but these things that you do, these little steps, I'm telling you, it'll change your whole life. It'll change your whole life. Hey, Mom. Hey, Trace. And I'm just giving you these little things because these are things that I remember when I heard them, they changed my life. And some stuff you've already told, but you drifted from it because you thought you was grown. Now I don't have to eat this because I'm not in my mama's house no more. I'm going to do what I want. And you don't realize they wasn't trying to, torture you. A lot of times they trying to show you what you need to do to be the best version of you possible. So I hope some of this helped. I'm going to say one that y'all ain't going to want to hear. I forgot about this one. I ain't going to hear this one, but I'm going to end with this so that I ain't going to get that much backlash from you. Minimize the bad things you put in your body. What bad things do you say? Well, of course, like you don't eat a lot of fast food and all that stuff. You shouldn't do that. That's horrible, right? But also minimize the toxins you put in your body. And what am I talking about? Excessive amounts of alcohol and excessive drugs. And I'm not going to specify the drugs, but I'm going to just tell you, anything that you're putting into your body that is a toxin will affect your body negatively. That's it. That's all. Everything in moderation. That's it. That's all. I'm not going to say you can't have nothing. Do what you do, but I'm telling you, your body will love on you. I have people that give me compliments that I don't understand. Let me tell you a compliment I get all the time. "Your eyes are so clear." And I just say, "What the devil? What do you mean my eyes are clear?" Like they're talking about the white parts of my eyes clear. And I'm like, isn't everybody's? And then I found out that's not true. Everybody isn't. Or I'll get, people say your skin is so clear. And I'm like, and I really feel like I could do so much better for my skin. But when I think about it, I look at other people's and I say, "Oh, okay. Then even just my energy level is high. this is just natural. If you meet me, this is kind of how I am throughout the day. I don't need a coffee or caffeine to make me this way. And this is something, I'm just giving you an example of me. My point is that you got to limit the toxins and the bad things you're putting into your body, because whether or not these are things you like, hey, live your life how you want to. I'm not here to tell you not. But if you don't think it affects your body, do me a favor. Whatever you want to defend over there on the other side of the screen, just research and look it up. And what does it do to your body? And then you make a decision. I'm just here for educational purposes. I know the way that you love your body is to decrease on any bad thing you're putting into it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I told you I wasn't going to like that one, but that's okay. That's it. That's all. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. If anybody who just came on, I am getting off now. I think I've just covered everything I needed to cover. I just think this, even though at first I wasn't going to say anything about it because I felt like this was the stuff that you all know about, I still feel like I need to explain why it's necessary to do it. So I think that I got it all out. If you guys just came on, watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, type in replay so I can know. I hope that you guys got something from it. Please share this with somebody, because you just don't know who is trying to figure out what to do to make their life better. And they don't realize things like this, little things like this, the sleep and the rest. I mean, it's certain little things you can do right away and that would change your mood. That would change your outlook on life. And so I said sleep and rest, sleep and water. I mean, they don't know why. So share it with somebody. You just don't know who you can help. All right. Love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. I told you I'm not going to even say anything about do something nice for yourself for the weekends anymore, because now that we're learning about self-care, you are going to do something nice for yourself. Why? Because you love yourself and you're trying to love on you. That's why you're going to do it. Just report back to me and let me know what you did. Okay. That's what we're going to start doing. Tell me what type of self-care you're doing every day when we get on here, so I can know what you started to implement, and it can inspire somebody else. You just never know. But I love you guys. And like I always say, you are enough. You're enough to invest in yourself. You're enough to invest in your self-care regimen. You're enough to care enough, to love enough on this, to love on this thing that we have, this body, this temple that we have. You're worth it. You're worth it. So put the energy and the work in. And on that note, I'm out. Have an amazing weekend. Love you all. Bye.